Yo, welcome back to Dolphins United, the platform for Dolphins. You heard me. We back in the house. All right, got a good video for y'all today. We're going to go ahead and go over the first quarter review. All right, 17 games now. It's not 16. So you used to be able to do 4-4-4-4. We're going to do 5-4-4-4. All right, that's the format that we're going with. This is my first year doing a quarterly review. Didn't do it the last 2 years, but this is something I wanted to start doing from this year on. But we'll do it after the first 5 weeks, then after the next 4, third 4, fourth 4, and then we'll have our cumulative at the end of the year after season review. Okay, so how we're going to do this is we're going to, and I'll use my phone. All right, I have my phone on deck ready to go. But we're going to have a grade system that is going to be unique to only Dolphins United. All right, so what do I mean by that? We're going to do A as the top, okay? Then we're going to have B and B plus, okay? B plus is going, and then we're going to do it like this. A is 5 points. A B is 4 points. A C is 3 points. A D is 2 points. A F is 1 point. Okay? That's how it's going to work. Pluses, except for A won't have a plus, will be worth 0.5. So if it's a B plus, then it's worth 4.5. Okay? There won't be any minuses. All right? So if I feel like somebody's a minus, they're just going to get dropped down one letter. Okay? So if somebody's a B minus, for example, they're going to have to go down to a C because there won't be any way to compute that. All right? Because if I did a 3.5 as a B minus, that would be the same thing as a C plus. All right? So they'll move down to a C plus. Okay? That's what it would be if it's a B minus, for example. All right? So we're not going to have any minuses. We're only going to have, well, we will have minuses only on F. All right? And we're not going to have any pluses on A. All right? If it's an F minus, then you don't get a full point. You get a 0.5. All right? For example. All right? And then we'll come up with the mean, the average, at the very end of what the first quarter total grade is as we break apart the offense, defense, special teams, and then specific players, key players, all right? X, key players, key acquisitions, things like that, how they graded out, all right? But then we're going to do, the main thing that we want to focus on is offense, and we'll go over each category, then defense, special teams, okay? Y'all with me? All right. Wanted to make sure I said that because if I start spewing out numbers, you're going to be like, what the heck is he talking about? So anyway, let's go ahead and start off with special teams, okay? Special teams right now, in my opinion, is over the first quarter, I'm going to have to give them a D plus, okay? Unfortunately. All right, that's worth 2.5, right? They get a D plus for me. I can't give them any better than that because it's just special teams hasn't stood out in a positive. I mean, yes, there's been some good punts, and that's probably why it's a D plus, to be honest. There's been some good punts. Okay, we've had some decent punts, but we've also had some bad punts. Not bad punts. We've had some average punts. All right, we've had the 60s, but then we've had the 40s. Last week, there were some punts that were a little questionable. We had a punt that was blocked. That also counts against. We had a kickoff return for a touchdown. We've had a few punt returns that came close. We're not tackling well. We're not filling gaps well on either return team. I think we've had a punt that was, a kick that was blocked as well. We've missed kicks, pivotal kicks. It just hasn't been good. We're not executing well in that area. That has been a weak spot for us. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to give them in total a D, a D plus. Okay, it sucks, but that kind of is what it is there, right? Jason Sanders, over the first quarter, he gets a D. He's made some kicks. He's missed some. That needs to be a little bit better. Okay? I need to see a little bit better from him. Morstead gets a B. All right? I like what I've seen so far. Yes, there could be improvement. That's why it's not a B plus or an A, right? There could be improvement. But overall, for example, the block punt, by our teammates' buttocks, by the way. All right, it's not like the defense got to it. Our teammates' buttock blocked that. All right, but anyway, his teammate, he gets a B for me because he's not as consistent as you would like. For example, though, all right, if we were to compare him to what we had last year production over the whole year was a D. Punting. It was horrible. It was bad. So he's way miles ahead of what we had last year. But it's a B for me. All right, now these are all my opinions. Please feel free to give your quarterly review in the comment section, and then we'll talk about it. We'll go back and forth about it. By the way, salute to all the new people that are here. The 15 of you that have subscribed within the last few days. Much appreciated to y'all. All right, and I'm not being sarcastic. I mean, it's been about right 15 for real. So I do appreciate y'all for making this channel home to y'all, especially some of you Jets fans that told me that you subbed. Appreciate y'all. All right, but yeah, this is what we do here. It's all Dolphins all the time. All right, I'm not an NFL channel. It's Dolphins United, but I will give insight about other teams at times. And, I'm knowledgeable. I watch all the NFL games, so I'm knowledgeable about players on other teams. Not every player like my team, but, yeah. Anyway, so that's what we're going to stick with. Coverage, I give that about a D minus. So we end up with a D plus overall because of Morstead. Morstead helped the whole thing. And I didn't even talk about our kick return and punt return. That hasn't been good either. It hasn't been bad overall, but first of all, kick return, we need to find somebody else to do that. Mostert is not the guy that can do that. All right, so we do need to find somebody else that can be back there because he no. All right, he can't make people miss like that in the open field. Maybe not in the open field. He can't. I don't know. It's just it don't look right. Like he just picks a lane when he doesn't have a lot of opportunities, but when he's back there, he just picks a lane and he just moves in a straight line. Like there's no wiggle there. Like Jakeem, like you feared him when he was back there. There was some wiggle to him, and he could fly too. On top of that, he was as fast as Mostert. But yeah, it don't look good to me. So the return game, so far, that's about a D as well. So it just Morstead kind of helped the numbers. All right, he's the lone person that helped these numbers go up. All right, because Jason Sanders, we're talking about D's across the board, and then you got a B in Morstead, so we got a D plus. All right, C minus D plus, same thing, 2.5 points. All right, let's go on over to the defense. Overall defense so far. All right, now this is just with the understanding that we're a bend, don't break team. All right, and now I could kill y'all with numbers. All right, we could go over yards per game, rushing yards per game, passing yards allowed per game, rating versus when it comes to passer rating versus and third down efficiency, fourth down efficiency, red zone, penalties on defense, interceptions, fumbles, stuff like that. We could go over all that. But I don't want to bore you with the analytics. I'll just give you what my eye says with the analytics, but not spew a whole bunch of numbers at you, all right? Because you're here to hear an opinion at the end of the day, because I am just a human being, and just like y'all. So, my opinion is my opinion. Y'all opinion is y'all opinion. The numbers don't necessarily tell the full story. All right. My eyes can tell me a little bit more at times than the numbers can. All right. With that being said, we are a bend don't break. So when you are a bend don't break team and not a historical defense like the Steelers of the past, the Baltimore Ravens, Chicago Bears, 85 Bears, right? The no-name defense from the 70s with the Dolphins, for example. Those type of teams with nicknames. All right? We don't have that. We have a team that's going to allow you to move between the 20s or between the 25 and the 30, and the 20 when you get into the red zone. And then at that point, we try to put the vice grips. We try to lock down defense, and that has been working for us for the most part. I'm not going to sit here and act like it hasn't. But the times that it hasn't worked for us, those are the games we're losing, okay? When you let a team down there enough, they're going to get points. Like, it doesn't work in your favor, right? When you're not a stingy defense with yardage, because you're letting the team down there and you're hoping for the best in the red zone. If you go up against a good enough team, they're going to kill you in the red zone. Look at Pat Mahomes, right? Pat Mahomes has 13 touchdowns within the 10-yard line. You let him down there, he's going passing. You let him down there, he's going to throw touchdowns, okay? We're doing too much of that. Way too much of that. I understand what kind of scheme we're running, philosophy more so than scheme that we're running, with letting them get as many yards and taking forever to get down the field. And when they get down there, you shore it up. But, that can bite you in the rear. It has. We've lost games because of it. And it doesn't look good on paper as well. All right. We're not getting sacks like that. We're not getting a whole bunch of pressure, although we're blitzing a lot. We're letting up a lot of yards. We're okay versus the run. It all leads to a C effort. All right. So when it comes to the defense, they get a 3 for me. All right. C equals 3 points. So +3. And that's it. All right. And that's what we're looking at. All right. Because it's, I don't know, plus illegal. Oh, it's at the wrong spot. +3. That's what we have when it comes to the defense overall. They get a C effort because, yes, we have made plays, key plays against Baltimore. All right. 3rd and short, 4th and short, even at the goal line, you're not getting across there too often. I love that about our team. All right. We've been able to get fumbles at the goal line. We've been able to get stops on 3rd down and short, 4th down and short. We're doing certain things like that. All right. When we need to show up in certain spots, we've shown up. We showed up against the Patriots all game. Did what we needed to do against them. Got off the field on 3rd down. All right. Second half of Baltimore. Did what we needed to do in that game to allow the offense to come back, right? Against Buffalo on the field for 40 minutes. When it came time to make plays, they made plays. Got stops on 4th down. Got stops on 3rd down. Got off the field. Held them to 17 points and a safety. All right. They had 19. 17 points on 40 minutes. 400 some yards passing-ish. And over 500 yards of offense. Close to it anyway. And only held them 17 points on 90 plays. So, those are the type of things that give you good grades. And then you have moments against the Bengals and against the Jets where I know the Jets, it wasn't completely their fault. We gave them on offense a short field twice, which led to those last 2 touchdowns. But overall, they couldn't stop a nosebleed on defense. Granted, we were missing key guys in the secondary. But that's not an excuse. Whoever we have backing them up, got to be able to go in there and make plays. We weren't able to do that. So we get a C. That's me. Over the first 5 games, I see a C effort from the defense. And here's the good thing about that. D+ for special teams, got a C for the defense, and we're 3-2. You know what that means? There's room for improvement. And overall, so far, we haven't really scratched the surface. We're still good. All right, we're 3-2, and we have a D+ special teams, in my opinion, and a C defense, and we're 3-2. We have so much room for improvement. We can get a lot better. That's good. All right, that's what you want. That's what you want, because if you're 3-2 and you had B's and A's across the board, probably doesn't bode well for you. All right, we're 3-2 and we got D's and C's. That's actually a good thing. All right, because we have a lot of room for improvement. That means if we get into those B's and A area, then we should be winning a lot more games. All right, and hopefully we do that, because what we've seen right now, it just hasn't been great. All right, and this is coaching included, by the way. These grades, they include the coaching. All right, so I'm not going to exclude coaching here. These grades include the coaching, and it's indicative of the coaching for the most part, especially on defense. That C is indicative of coaching, because you got to coach these guys better, scheme it up better so that it can look better on Sundays. Anyway, X so far. X is a D+. I'm not talking about that one. Javon Holland so far. All right, I'm talking about key guys now. Javon Holland, I'll give him about a C+. Okay? So we got a D+ and a C+ so far. My opinion, I give Holland a C+. Some people will disagree with me on this. But if you look at it really good, the only thing that he's really done a good job of, first game he got an interception. And so far, this is the other thing, he hasn't really been letting up deep passes when he's back there. Now, he's not always back there. Sometimes he's in man coverage, guarding a tight end, guarding a running back coming out the backfield, and then sometimes he's in the box, whether blitzing or helping stop the run. But when he's back there, you don't see a lot of big plays. I love that. That means that he's doing his job, because they're not even throwing that way. All right? Most of the time they're killing us deep, it's in single coverage, most of the time. So Holland, he's doing his job when it comes to that, but he's missing tackles, and he's not making enough plays. He did get the 1 sack against, I think it was against Josh Allen. But we need more. All right, we need more plays from him, and I'm assuming that we'll see more from him as the season goes on. There's room to improve there. He gets a C+ for me. Christian Wilkins, another good player on defense. I'm going to give him a B+. Boy, it's close to an A. All right? Yes, he's not making a whole bunch of plays, right? But defensive tackles don't make a whole bunch of plays. All right? He gets penetration. He gets in there at times. He definitely is stout at stopping the run. And he gets on the offensive player's nerves, which can lead, as it did against Buffalo, to a penalty. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. A little dirtiness there. He's a defensive tackle. He gets dirty in the trenches. All right? That's why they call it the trenches. All right? It gets dirty in there. So I give him a B+. Who else? Kader Kohou, having to step in the way he's had to. He's graded, well, he was graded after 4 weeks. I don't know what it is after 5. After 4 weeks, he was graded the 10th best cornerback in all of football according to PFF. I'm going to give him a B so far in the season. He's outperforming X right now. Now, granted, X has way more responsibility, and he's gotten beat. But Kader Kohou hasn't really gotten beat too much. He did have some missed tackles. I would like to see that get cleaned up, but he's made tackles, and he's had pass defenses, and they're not really throwing his way as much. Nick Needham gets a D. Nick Needham has been getting beat at times. Now, I know his PFF is not as bad as my grade is for him, but he's got to tighten it up, especially tackling. He's been sloppy tackling. Jerome Baker, I'm really close to an F+. I'll be honest, but I'm going to be nice. I'm going to give him a D. All right? I need to see a lot more from Jerome Baker. it just, I need to see a lot more from Jerome Baker. When you're a linebacker, you need to make tackles. You can't be whiffing on tackles. If you're not going to do nothing else as a linebacker, I need you to make tackles. That's it. You don't got to do nothing else for me. Make sure tackles. He's not doing that. I got a problem with that. He gets a D for me, and it's real close to a F plus. All right, it's so close to a F plus. All right, being that I can't do a D minus, it would be a F plus, right? Based on my grading scale. Who else do I want to talk about when it comes to that? I cannot leave him out. Jalen Phillips. Right now, Jalen Phillips is looking at about a D plus. C minus D plus, right? He's in that ballpark because I expected more from him. Yes, he is winning. So I don't want you guys to kill me. Oh, PFF says that his win rate is in the top 10 or something like that. I don't care. You're not converting those win rates to sacks. Some of it is whiffing. Some of it you're being held. They're not calling it. I'll be honest. But I need you to make plays. All right? You're drafted in the first round. Russo is outplaying you. Parsons is outplaying you. Parsons is a beast, though. But he's outplaying you. Like, you can play with those guys. Play with those guys. All right? I need you to show us the flashes that you showed us in the second half of last year. All right? Now, maybe you're having a sophomore slump. I don't know. But I need to see a little bit more. He did get a sack, I think, against, not the Bengals, was it? I don't know. He had a sack recently. I like that. All right? But I need to see a little bit more from him. I need a little bit more. Maybe it was against the Jets. Actually, I don't know. I can't remember. But he did get a sack. I think he has like 1.5, 2 sacks on the season, something like that. I need to see more from him. Tackling, setting the edge, that's been a problem with him as well. Need to see more there. That's all I care to talk about as far as the defense, because I don't want to be here all day talking about other players. But those are some of the reasons why they have a C grade right there. All right, that's some of the reasons why. Let's go ahead now and move all the way to the offense. Okay? Because right now, it ain't looking good. Be honest with you, total grade. But let's see if we can help make that up. All right? Now, pass defense, let me talk about that real quick. Pass defense overall, I'm going to give that a D. And rush defense, I'm going to give that a C plus. Okay? So that's where you get your C from. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about the offense. Offense in total. Offense in total so far, based on all the games. Now, I got to go across all 5 games. The total so far, I would give the offense is a B. Okay? I'm going to give the offense a B because we've scored enough points per game. All right? And we've had injuries, which has hindered us on offense. And that part that I'm mentioning is the injuries is mainly Tua, right? Tua not being there, I called him the engine of this offense. That's what I believe he is. Him not being there has completely hindered us from doing what we need to do on offense, from unlocking the potential, from unlocking the offense, all right? Because it had potential. We saw the potential. Tyreek, Waddle, everybody else, they can't do what they would be able to do if Tua was in there. All right, it's just not going to be the same. I give them a B. I would like to give them a C plus, but I'm going to give them a B because what I saw leading into the Bengals game before Tua got up out of there was some good football on offense. We were running on all cylinders. Yes, there was some injuries, some knickknacks, things like that with guys, especially on the offensive line. But what I saw was some good football being played. So I'll give them a B. Now, last week, all right, and moving forward, if we have backups in and they're not producing like we saw last week and moving forward, although it was a rookie, I give him a shot. All right, it's a rookie. I can't expect too much from him. This grade is going to go down real fast, okay? Because it comes a time where it's like, all right, you've had enough time now to try to figure this out. All right, so Teddy Bridgewater's playing on Sunday, and this thing goes downhill fast, then the grade is going to go downhill fast. But I'm going to give them a little bit higher of a grade based on what I had seen, and it all really comes from the passing offense. That's where it comes from over the first 5 weeks, because it was not historical numbers through the first 3 games, but it was really good numbers through the first 3 games. And really, it was 1 fourth quarter that got you those numbers, but it happened, right? And there's been some consistency there that I was seeing that I was starting to like, and we'll talk about a little bit more of Tua and where I think he is right now, because I know that's what most people are ready to hear, right? That's why we save offense for last. Overall, I'm going to give them a B. So if I'm giving them a B, that means 4. That's what it's worth. So, plus 4, right? Okay. Let's start with the rushing game. The rushing game, honestly, I don't think it's been that bad. We haven't been able to run the ball 150, 200 yards, right? But I really don't think the rushing game is that bad. And it's because we're just not running the ball a lot. We weren't running the ball a lot, right? You see, even this last game, we didn't run the ball a whole lot, although we were able to get a little bit more production out of it. But if we put our minds to running, I believe we can run the ball a little bit better than we've shown, although we need to still show it. So because of that, I'm going to give them a C. Got to give them a C. I'm going to break this down a little further. Offensive line in general, right? Over the first 5 games. Last game was an F. F plus. All right? Last game was an F plus. I can't go D minus, so F plus. But in totality, I have to give them a C plus overall. Honestly, I'll give them a, man, that one's tough. All right? I'll give them a C plus overall. Overall. C plus for them. Because we haven't been able to run the football some. That's attributed to them having a tough time on 3rd and shorts. That's attributed to them running the football on 3rd and short. We'll let up some pressures. Although there hasn't been as many sacks, that's good quarterback alertness. And it's just injuries, too, that plays a part somewhat, kind of, because of production. So you have like guys like, which I don't know if that makes a difference or not. Austin Jackson making a difference. I don't know. But, yeah, because of those things, I would say a C plus. But individual grades-wise, and I'm going to go through all 5 that have played the majority. If we're talking about Teron Armstead, he gets an A. We don't got to go no further. When we're talking about Eichenberg gets an F plus overall. It's been really bad. I'm surprised we haven't let up more sacks because of him. I'll give him a little bit better than that because of the sack amount. He hasn't let up as many sacks as his play would have led to, or should have led to by now. I'll give him a D. Connor Williams, he gets a B for me. Hunt gets a B for me. And Little gets a D for me. All right? So I'm going to give them a C plus overall. Overall, C plus grade, and there's a lot of improvement that can be had there. Running backs. Overall, I'm going to give the running backs a C plus as well. All right? Mostert so far, I give him a B. Edmonds so far, I give him a D plus so far. I really haven't liked what I've seen from him. And Ingold, I'll give Ingold, I'm going to lump him in with them. I'll give him a C. All right, so right there, you got your C plus. That's it. All right. Ingold, he could have had better. His blocking's been good, but his pass catching has not been good. Edmonds hasn't been good across the board. And Mostert has been really good at running the football, But, I mean, we got to get better play overall from the running backs, right? So that just is what it is there. That's just, we got to get better there. And if we get better there, it's going to open up a lot of things for us in the pass game, which we'll segue into right now. Let's talk about the wide receivers, right? Wide receivers wise, how can you give them anything but a B+? And the only reason I'm giving them a B+ is because we need more than 2 guys to show up. Craycraft has showed up every now and then, but we need Sherfield, we need Wilson to show up. We need Gesicki, Durham, Connor, Tanner Connor, or however you say his name, I still don't remember. He needs to make me remember him because he had that drop on Sunday that makes him forgettable. And who am I, right? But anyway, yeah. I mean, that stuff got to get better, right? So I give him a B+ because Waddle has been a B+, and Tyreek Hill has been a B+. Now, why wouldn't I put any of them as an A? It's because we're not getting consistency across the board, right? We're getting some games where we have 50 yards, and then we're getting games where we have 150 yards, right? We've had some drops as well. So they're not perfect by any stretch, but they have been B+. Other guys have been Ds. So they've really helped the team out a lot, all right, when it comes to that. Sorry, let me pause that. They have been, average wide receiver play, except for those 2. Gesicki. What grade would I give Gesicki right now? I will say this. He's been blocking. I mean, he ain't always been pretty, but he's been blocking a little bit. So because he's been blocking a little bit, I can't go too hard on the man. And he did catch that 1 touchdown for us against Baltimore. It was an epic catch. And he usually catches the balls that come his way. He's had a few drops, but overall I'm gonna give him a C for blocking and pass catching. All right. So I give them in general, I think I said a C+. But that's mainly because of who we have catching the ball for them. All right? So it's a C+ for them. Let's go to quarterback. That's what everybody wants to hear. We're not even going to talk about the other 2 because they don't have enough games in there. What grade do I give Tua overall? Tua is going to get a B+ from me overall. That's what I'm going to give Tua. I have to give Tua a B+ because Tua was playing really good football at this time in his career. He was in his bag. Now, it's not perfect. I'm not talking about perfect play, all right? But he had the best passer rating. He had the second best QBR. He was tops in, not top, like top 5, in yards per attempt. Also that in completion percentage. Also that on third down. Also that on EPA. Like, the man was balling. Okay? You call it what you want. He was balling. Yes, he had 3 picks. Some of those picks were real bad picks. But all of them were bad picks at this point. But I'll take it. 8 touchdowns, I'll take it. That game in the 4th quarter against Baltimore was epic. It was legendary. All right, now, yes, I've heard people say this, and it's true. Tua has had really a good game and a half and a bad game and a half. A good game and a half and a average, who Tua used to be, game and a half. All right? That's what he's had so far. But doggone it, if that 1.5 games, and really that half a game, because you could really count the whole half against Ravens, wasn't legendary football. All right? So that brings him all the way up. Because it's not like he went from average to good. He went from average to elite, which now makes him good. Okay? Because he had some average play and he had elite play in that half, especially the 4th quarter. So it makes him a good quarterback. He gets a B+ for me. All right. Yes, he could be better, but the Tua we saw is the Tua we needed. That's the Tua that could win you football games against good football teams, because he was winning football games against good football teams. Let's say Tua is out the next 2 games. He doesn't come back against the Steelers. He's there for the next game after that. If he wins those 3 games, you know what people are going to say? Well, he's winning 3 games against sorry teams. Well, darn it, he won 2 games against really good teams. And although we didn't have as many points as you would like against Buffalo and the Patriots, those are 2 of the top 5 defenses in the league. By the way, Patriots, right? Oh, Patriots aren't that good. Yeah, on offense, they're not. On defense, that's the same team that just stopped a 35-point-a-game offense from getting any points against them in the Detroit Lions, okay? 35 points, 0 points. We put up enough points against them to win that game. We put up enough points against Buffalo to win that game. And we definitely put up enough points against the Ravens to win that game. You know what they all have in common? Tua was the quarterback. All right? Tua is 3-0 in the season. Technically, he's 3-1 because he started the game against the Bengals and he didn't finish it, so he gets the L. But he's 3-0. Tua is the engine. All right, he makes this all run. He helps because he keeps the team on the field. Third down conversion rate, top 10 in the league. Okay, third down efficiency, top 5 in the league. Okay, so he was keeping the defense off the field, except for in the Buffalo game, which he didn't need it. He put up 21 points in 39 plays in 20 minutes. All right, he didn't need it. But, you know, except for that game, save for that game, he was pretty good on keeping the offense on the field so the defense can get a rest, which helped get key stops when the defense needed to because they were a little bit fresh. Those are the type of things your quarterback helps you in. It's not always yards and deep passes, although he was doing that stuff too and things like that. It's just sometimes being the maestro, keeping things on schedule. Tua was consistently keeping things on schedule, and he was the point guard, and he was making plays, and most of the time they were the right plays. Now, he had some boneheaded stuff, all right? I could give him a B, but because he was so elite in that half of football, in that fourth quarter of football, I'm going to give him the B+, although I could give him a B, to be honest, because of some of them boneheaded plays and then some of them non-interceptions that could have been interceptions, should have been interceptions. He probably should have about 5 interceptions right now rather than 3, but still, all right? They didn't catch those interceptions. You can't count them. Every team has almost interceptions. They're almost interceptions. They don't count. All right, they don't count. I know PFF likes to say turnover-worthy plays. They don't show up on the stat sheet, so I'm not going to count them. They weren't there. 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He was on his way, ladies and gentlemen, to a really good season had he not got injured or regressed, all right, which he could have easily regressed, but we won't know until he comes back to see if he's the same quarterback that was ascending or if he's going to start declining now, all right? We won't know. I'll give him the B+ there, but overall, they get a C+ for me, okay? Or no, sorry, overall they get a B for me, a B. Overall on offense, and it's mainly because of Tua. And the passing game is why they're getting that from me. Okay? Now, with that being said, they have a B. You got a B from them. You got a D+ on special teams. And then you got a C, I believe, with the defense. That is 9.5 points. You divide that by 3, you get 3.1. You bring that down because it's not over 3.5. That's a C grade overall. All right, so that's what it ends up leaving you with, is a C grade overall because the defense hasn't been that great and the special teams has been poor and your offense has been carrying you overall, right, in the grading system. We got a C overall grade. It's not good, guys. Right? It really isn't good. All right, for us to have a C overall grade right now. That's not what you want to see, but that's what we got. Okay? We got to get those grades up. I believe that the team can be a lot better than it's been. The offense can be better than it's been. The defense can be definitely better than it's been, and special teams has to be better than it's been. All right, they just have to be. And it's mainly Sanders that needs to be better than he's been, and then we're good. If we get the same production from everything else, and Sanders is a B or a B plus, we're good. We're good. We need him to be a B or a B plus. That's all we need from him. Our offense, we just need Tua to come back healthy and the line to stay intact. If Armstead, who is an A, is there, we're good. We're good. Everybody else, if they stay healthy and if Austin Jackson could come back and be a C plus, we're good. We can take that. All right. Wide receivers wise, we have 2 B pluses there. They can carry us, and we have a B plus and Tua as well. So on offense, we're doing fine. It's just that on defense and on special teams, we got to be better. So overall, we have a C grade, which we got to be better than a C grade. We just really need to be better than a C grade. But the good thing about that is having a C grade means that, and being 3-2, means that there's so much room for improvement, and you still have a decent record, not a good record, because we got the Vikings coming in, and we lose that game, then we're 3-3, 500. We need to be a little bit better than 500. Okay, but I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Y'all already know what it is. Fins up till we die. Please put in the comment section what you give an overall grade of the team through the first quarter. I'll holler at y'all.